At this moment in the document, this documentarian has realized that this documentarian cannot actually show the tags for the rest of the museum pieces, as the tags may be copyrighted by the British Museum. And if the museum comes to take this documentarian, it will likely be in an humiliating court of law. Therefore, as promised earlier about showing tags for the museum objects, only the museum objects themselves, built long ago and not subject to copyright as they are. But this documentarian would imagine with a coarse laugh that the British Museum would likely copyright anything under the museum's roof if it could. Anyhow, no more tags, and therefore you'll have to trust in this documentarian as he next tells you that the British Museum misclassified this statue as a Mayan soapstone sculpture when it is actually made of pure quarry stone, and the statue is as well of Aztec descent and refinement. This statue was common in the Aztec day, standing for Mother, and meant to remind its viewer of Mother. As of this writing, this documentarian has been dealing with the madness of itching ear canals, whereas the documentarian has for such a long time been addicted to using cotton swabs in the ears, or cotton batons as they are sometimes called in Britain, or else cotton buds is another name the British use. Therefore, this documentarian has thrown off the balance of his ear canal's production of wax, and in trying to stop using the cotton swabs, this documentarian is reminded of his mother's penchant for same. In one stroke of admittedly mild genius, the British Museum has managed to place alongside this statue of Mother a statue of a little mother, Ram in the thicket. The ram peeping through the thicket is an integral part of Egyptian understanding of the world, and thus this gilded statue is realized to its full height of 3 feet. The British Museum correctly labeled this statue and has seemed to have kept the statue in fair condition thus far. However, even the slightest closer inspection reveals the paint job is not of the time, being that the Egyptians used clay chalks and acrylics and natural acrylics and clay sticks melted over candle flame to create their statues, and at the time it seemed like a very modern way of painting. So likely in the name of conservation, the British Museum has glossed this statue over with paints likely purchased from an art supply shop in East London. The ram tells the story of a ram, the ram in the thicket tells the story of a ram lost from the remainder of the flock that has stood up now on his hind legs and walked in the day, quote unquote, to prop himself against the thicket and see the way back to his flock. Upon espying the flock, however, the ram loses the flock looking directly into the sun, and is blinded and frozen in time, dying there against the thicket, and remaining even unto being a skeleton as a warning to passers-by. Mother, Little Mother 2. Another example of the Mother and Little Mother Aztec statuettes. This pair of darkly lit statues are boding with malevolence. Note the lack of arms, torn free by either carelessness or maliciousness on behalf of the British Museum, like when the fly is held down and has its wings torn off. The statues are likely from the Incan area of the Aztec Empire and are stiff in their depiction of the mother, not as a refuge like in the statue before, but more like a strict disciplinarian, almost a strict teacher, likely again found by conquistadors and thus embarking upon a long 1,000-year journey to reach the trap set by the British. The statues have held up surprisingly well, so it's a pity about the appendages everything else seems to be okay. Clay letter. This then is a clay letter representing the earliest form of the written word. The letter has been translated by the British Museum as a letter from one tin magnate to another, talking of shipping tin in the times of Nebuchadnezzar. We forget the civilization of Babylon lasted 1,000 years, much longer than current Western civilization, especially in America. And so things like shipping of tin did go on, and people had time to grow old and engage in mercantilism and other tedious pursuits. One wonders what sort of money was in use at the time and how easy it must have been to forge, providing letters were being written on clay tablets. But lo, even the translation of this letter provided by and according to the British Museum is suspect. For why wouldn't it be suspect? If this were the dawn of writing as it was, and if letters were so precious as to painstakingly be made into works of art, as they were, certainly anyone in their proper mind would come to understand this letter was of much more import, for why would such a high craft be wasted on so little a thing as tin? Perhaps the letter actually told of an unwilling daughter's refusal to marry a certain prince hand-picked by her king father. Perhaps the letter told of a queen mother's disapproval of her son's marriage to a servant girl. Perhaps the letter was even a poem, written by some poet of Babylon yore, who walked the banks of the Euphrates or the Nile or along the beach of the Black Sea and spoke of the things he saw in the sky, for he must have seen God in those times. But the British Museum wouldn't hear of such a thing as spirit or zest for life or poetry in its ancient artifacts, and so has repressed this letter's true meaning, whatever it is, represented this letter as the dull work of tin shipping, which of course would be a translation that would suit the means of the current Illuminati/Freemason inspired system of capitalism.